chaos did not begin with an official statement, a company announcement, or even a verified post. It began with silence, an unexpected, intriguing silence that arrived just before the storm. Then, almost as if deliberately triggered, an 8-second clip surfaced from an anonymous account on a small fan forum, and within minutes it spread across platforms like a digital wildfire. What made the video so explosive was not simply the presence of two world-famous artists. It was the atmosphere of intimacy, the air of secrecy, and the unmistakable familiarity of the place they were in. The clip appeared to show Jimin and Jungkook inside the living room of Jungkook's home, and the moment it landed online, the entire entertainment world felt the tremor. The room was dim, illuminated by warm light from a floor lamp in the corner, casting a soft golden halo on the beige walls. Even though the camera quality was low, fans instantly recognized several items. A dark leather couch Jungkook had previously shown during a live broadcast, the small wooden shelf with neatly arranged albums and collectibles, and the corner of a sound system many fans knew he treasured. The setting alone was enough to set social media ablaze, but the real shock came from the two figures in the frame. Jimin sat slightly angled toward Jungkook, wearing a simple cream sweater, sleeves covering half his hands. Jungkook, with his signature black hoodie pulled over his dark hair, leaned forward with elbows on his knees, eyes directed toward the unseen camera. The clip began with a soft shuffle, as if someone had just adjusted the phone on a table. Then Jungkook's voice, low and warm, filled the quiet room. "Should we start now?" he said, and though he spoke casually, the tone carried a hint of anticipation, almost as if this moment had been planned and discussed beforehand. Next to him, Jimin let out a quiet laugh, the kind that held more familiarity than humor, and nudged Jungkook gently with his shoulder. "Army will be shocked," he said, his voice barely above a whisper yet clear enough to sound like a promise, a tease, or perhaps a warning. That single sentence threw the entire fandom into overdrive. Over the years, the bond between the two idols had been the subject of countless theories, edits, fanfictions, and affectionate speculation. Whether one viewed them through the lens of deep friendship, artistic synergy, or something more ambiguous, their dynamic had always been magnetic. The video, however, added a new layer, one that felt unusually personal. What were they planning to say? Why from Jungkook's house? Why together without staff, lights, or production? Why choose a setting so private, so unfiltered? Before they could answer any of that, the clip abruptly ended. There was no message, no explanation, no continuation. Just the lingering image of Jimin turning slightly toward Jungkook, lips parting as if he was about to speak, and then static. The cut was so sudden it felt like someone intentionally stopped the recording at the most suspenseful moment. Some viewers insisted they heard another faint voice in the background, while others claimed there was a quick movement behind the couch, suggesting someone else was present. None of these theories had evidence, but the absence of clarity only amplified the obsession. By the time the first hour had passed, hashtags like #Jikook, #JikookAtHome, #JikookMessage, and #JohnPark dominated worldwide trends. Debate erupted everywhere. Some fans insisted the video was old, taken years ago and resurfacing without context. Others argued that the furniture layout matched Jungkook's current home, down to the exact position of a small decorative lamp he purchased earlier in the year. Admirers dissected every shadow, every breath, every millisecond, analyzing the distance between them, the way Jimin's knee pointed toward Jungkook, and the slight smile that tugged at Jungkook's lips before the video cut off. What struck people the most, however, was how comfortable the two looked. There was no tension, no awkwardness, no barrier between them. The room felt lived in, not staged. It felt like a moment they had not intended for the world to see. In the following hours, more rumors flooded social media. A supposed insider claimed the video was part of a longer message the two had intended to record for fans, possibly related to an upcoming joint project. Another anonymous post suggested it was a personal greeting meant for close friends. And then there were the wilder theories, the ones claiming it was proof of something deeper between the two. Though these rumors spun rapidly, none were supported by official sources. Still, the absence of denial allowed the narratives to grow freely, unrestrained by facts or corrections. Meanwhile, reaction videos began popping up online. Fans cried, screamed, analyzed, and laughed, replaying the clip until its pixels blurred. Some highlighted the softness in Jungkook's voice, others focused on Jimin's playful expression, and many simply expressed joy at seeing the two together again in a setting so real and uncurated. Artists posted fan art within hours, depicting the scene in vivid detail, while writers began crafting entire universes inspired by those 8 mysterious seconds. In the real world, however, Jimin and Jungkook remained silent. No statement came from their agency. No clarification was released. They didn't update any social platforms or comment on the uproar. Their silence became part of the story itself, adding fuel to the speculation. Fans wondered why neither of them chose to deny the video. Was it because they had nothing to hide? Or because the video was never meant to be seen in the first place? As the days passed, new layers of analysis emerged. Fans with technical backgrounds studied the sound waves, verifying that the voices indeed matched recent timbres from both artists. Others compared the movements in the video to recent live appearances, analyzing posture, hairstyle, and clothing. A few fans even recreated the lighting in digital simulations to determine the exact angle from which the camera must have been placed. Everything pointed to the same conclusion. The video was authentic and it was recent. Weeks went by, but the fascination didn't die down. Instead, it evolved. The video became a kind of modern urban legend, the Jikook house message, a moment suspended in time, forever unfinished. Fans began imagining what the full message might have been. Some believed it was a heartfelt letter to fans about their journey together. Others speculated it was a light-hearted video full of jokes, the kind they often made during earlier years. A few theorized it might have been a song teaser, an emotional project the two had worked on privately. In fan spaces, people wrote long narratives exploring the scene from different perspectives. Some told the story from Jungkook's viewpoint, capturing the warmth he felt as Jimin leaned closer. Others wrote from Jimin's perspective, describing the quiet comfort of being in Jungkook's home during a late-night conversation. Illustrations showed the two surrounded by soft lights, laughing mid-sentence, or concentrating on recording a perfect message. The 8 seconds expanded into thousands of imagined moments, filling the void left by reality. Even long after the initial chaos, people kept returning to the clip. Something about its brevity, its intimacy, and its unscripted nature created a sense of nostalgia for a moment the world had barely witnessed. Certain fans described it as a digital Polaroid, a snapshot accidentally exposed to the public, capturing a bond that felt genuine and timeless. Despite the speculation, the biggest question remained. What did they want to tell ARMY? Was it something joyful? Something serious? Something creatively inspired? Or something so personal that releasing it may have been difficult? The only concrete truth was that they had sat together willingly to record a message from Jungkook's home in the quiet of the night. And though the world may never know what came after those 8 seconds, the impact of that moment spilled across the globe. Fans found comfort, excitement, and renewed curiosity. People felt closer to the two artists, sensing a warmth and sincerity that often gets filtered out in highly produced content. Whether one sees them as friends, brothers, or creative partners, the bond between them in that brief clip spoke louder than any statement could. In the end, the world did not receive the message Jimin and Jungkook intended to record. But the world received something else. A reminder of their connection, of their authenticity, and of the quiet, unspoken understanding that has always made their dynamic so compelling. And perhaps that is why the moment became legendary. Not because it confirmed anything officially, but because it captured something real, fleeting, and beautifully human.